Hello, welcome to another Krawdad and Rusty video. For this video, we are going to cut some more rocks open to see what's inside. These rocks are all purchased by the bucket at our recent Klamath Falls Rock and Gem Show. And yeah, Rusty's here too. Say hi, Russ. Yeah, and he is, I'll show you where he is at. He's guarding the gemstones. Hi, buddy. All right, you can get down now. You can get down? You want to get down? All right, there you go. This is the same table and same rocks minus a whole bucket full that I removed. And these are all the ones that I looked at and I said, yeah, I don't think we'll take time to cut that open. Not that there's not maybe some good things in there, but they all look kind of blah or just already cut open and you could tell they weren't much. So these are the ones we'll work on, and we'll see how many of these we can get through today. We'll probably still end up doing another cutting video, but it's okay with me, it's fun. We might as well start right here with this guy. And I could try to cut it for the largest face by cutting it straight down through there. But I don't think that's what I want to do. I think it's got like a little base on there. It's not perfectly flat, but it wants to stand. So if I wanted to make it flat later, I could. And we'll just cut 90 degrees off of that, going kind of that way, right through there. And we'll see, because it looks like there's pattern in there, a lot like it would be if it was an agate that grew in a crevice, what we call a seam agate. Maybe it's not a seam agate, but a seam jasper. We'll try it. Seems right to me. And we got this, got a big window. It looks like there's not a lot of lines in there, but there could be some color, as I said before. And it looks to me like there is a fracture going through there, at least a line like it was a fracture at one time. So I'll just follow that line. It'll be odd, but that's okay. Yeah, see, it even goes all the way around to this side. So I'll just try to cut right through that. See if we can cut that baby out so it's not a part of it. Let's see. This little guy doesn't look like much, but has great potential. This one I will cut straight across that way. Try to get, if it's banded, we'll get the tightest bands possible. And this guy will do just the opposite. Since it's crazy and it's got these windows all around, I won't be able to miss them all, but I'll try to kind of go between these two here on the edge of that one and cut right down along that side, if it's possible. We'll start with those four little guys. We'll get them over there. Here we go. And here's that first jasper, and it is a beauty. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. I think you can see it has orange and red. It runs from orange to red with little bits of agate material in between. So that's going to be a winner, and they'll stand up just like that. And that is a nice set, nice specimen. The next one I cut, this one right here, and it is absolutely amazing. The colors run from blue to yellow. I asked Ruth, that's how I know. And I did get to cut away quite a bit of that fracture, but this little part right in here, maybe you can see, has that fracture. So I will take one more little slice off of that to clean it up, and couldn't quite get the angle. I can see the fracture there, and I can see it right here. So I needed to come in a little more and turn it, but gripping it, it was a bit of a challenge. This strange looking nodule, and yes, it is a nodule. And Ruth says it's interesting because it is green inside, but that has nothing in it that says it will polish. It's rough, and not very well formed. And so it kind of looked like it was volcano poo, and it is volcano poo. This little guy, which I knew was a nodule, just didn't know what kind of nodule. There weren't any windows on it anywhere, so it is a very pretty little nodule. It's got some quartz pocket in there, and the rest is banding around the outside and then filled with waterline and quartz. That's pretty neat. I like that one. And the next ones we will do, I really want to see if this is, it's got yellow through and through. And there's no reason, I see no pattern here, but to try to mount it this way and cut it right through there. This one's sitting here next, and it looks like another nodule. There's a window there, it looks quartzy, so I'll try to cut more towards away from the quartzy pocket. Don't know what's in there. And then we'll do this really dark agate jasper. I mean, it looks like an agate in formation, but it looks like jasper in that I can't see much light through it. If it's jasper, it's very dark. And then, of course, we'll take I want to take a slice off of this guy. And here again, we'll start by cutting it right down this part right here. There you go. Here are the next four. First, that yellow one, which turned out to be not yellow. Not on the inside, not through and through. It's pretty. It's got some colors in there, but I was hoping for something bright and yellow. It's okay. It's a nice piece of Cassini, maybe okay for a specimen. And then that nodule, which looks different when it's icky, that is quite the piece. So first on this side, you have a little banding around the outside, and then you have quartz, and then you have a little island in there, and that's okay. There are some fractures. It's not terrible. The other side, though, looks even better, because look at that island. That's really pretty nifty and good colors. Ruth said it was good color. I think she said it was got some red and gold in there, which is good. And then the dark one. Didn't have any idea what to expect from this, and what I found is really amazing. It does have dark, but it's got dendrites all the way around the outside, and then right down the center there's dendrites on both pieces. This one's not so much, so I cut it probably just about the right spot. They're not real heavy as far as dendrites, but that makes for some nice specimens. Those are solid. I see no fractures in those, except maybe the smallest fracture right in the middle, right there. But those will polish up really nice. And then the last piece, which, is crazy. I didn't know what to do. I put a flat bottom on them so I could stand them up, but then they ended up kind of blah. All this color that I saw on the outside, the gold and the brown, it pretty much disappeared on the inside. So, interesting. Certainly really hard stuff, so it would polish, but I'm not really sure what to do with that one. So, let's pick some more. How about 4 more? Let's see. This one looks like, I would say, has kind of the clarity of a Montana agate type style. Let's try that. And let's see, I've got this big one too. How am I going to cut this one? Well, that one's got a line down the middle. I'll try to cut that line right down the middle there. This one, I'll probably cut this one right down here to avoid that window and this window over here. We'll kind of cut it down that way. Let's see, over here we've got some more of those. That's another one of those crazy looking nodules, but look at the fineness that I can see. Some quartz over here, but fineness. And so, yeah, who knows? There, I'll have to cut the cap off of that one, kind of cut through and try to miss that window there. And one more different one. Let's just cut the one. It's totally different than the other nodule. So lots of agates to try. Let's give it a shot. Here's that one. And inside it is very pretty. It doesn't have a lot of pattern, so I can get it up here in the light. But it does have some pretty things in it. It's got some little polka dots down in there. And a lot of translucency. Little pattern. I was trying to avoid that crack, and I avoided it all except for right up in this corner. And you can see, because it goes crazy at that corner. And so I do have a fracture in there. But it is very pretty. This translucent one, it is very translucent. Look at that beauty. Now we did lose some to a window. I didn't recognize that was a window to begin with, but beautiful. Very faint bands, but bands all the way around, and you can see way inside there. And each side gives a little bit of a different view into it. And this one actually has that gap right there. It goes right through. It's a nice piece. Wouldn't say exceptional. And then this one, you may have slipped off. This one is a nodule, and it's mostly quartz. You can see it's pretty, but it's got these interesting crystal formations. An island in an island with a little bit of banding around the outside, and I thought this one looked even more distinct as far as being able to see well in the clear quartz crystal in there, separated by just a wee bit of chalcedony over here, and then more quartz around the outside. That's a pretty specimen, not exceptional. And the last one here. Now this has some pretty color in it. Still mostly quartz, but it does have a really pretty little druzy pocket, and that's surrounded by some agate in there, and then lots of quartz. I don't prefer lots of quartz, but it is very pretty. And this one has a little bit more of the distinctness and the contrast. Still, once this is polished, I mean, I can see way deep inside of there. So that will make a pretty specimen, and I see 0 fractures in that one, which is nice. All right, let's pick 4 more for this round, and that'll leave us another round. So we're gonna experiment with some crazy ones. This one has the potential of being a decent picture jasper, and I'm gonna look at it for a while before I cut it, but we'll try that one. And let's see, I wanted to try, was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. Maybe that one? Just to cut it right down the middle. It's going to be a challenge of a cut. Let's do this crazy glob of thunder eggs. And the best way I think I can do it is try to get it right down the middle, the longest direction, to see how many of the insides we can expose. And then there was another big one. We'll do this other big one here. And this doesn't look spectacular from the outside, but because, you know, weathering changes everything as far as color and all. It could be pretty inside. So I'm going to cut this one straight down for the largest face I can get and see what that does. Here's the final 4. After going through the saw, we'll start with this jasper here. And I would say it probably is a bit of a picture jasper, just not a lot of great picture. You do have the at least the 2 tones of color. This could be water and and hills above the water, or it could be sky, depending how you look at it. It's got some pretty little dendrites in it right there. It's cool, but another little piece of agate that cut pretty good. The clarity on this is amazing. It really is amazing. You can see that in there, some more dendrites and other inclusions in there, and that part where it's foggy in there, that's actually the outside, and it's pretty cool. And then this one ended up thinner, so you can see right through to the other side of the agate, the things that are in there, and that's actually quite pretty. It has that kind of bluish tone that comes probably from the atmosphere, even though today it's definitely no blue sky. You still got the sunlight. And here's our thunder egg, and that's what it is. There's a clunk of thunder eggs, and once I cut it, I cut too close to this side, and this side all fell apart. There is not a huge amount in there, but like that piece is nice and has a very clear chalcedony in it, and then this one you can see not so much in the chunk. Very interesting, not very spectacular. It's okay. And then this other strange one, which I couldn't tell, is a plume. Look at the plumes in that thing. There's some little botryoidal formations and that little bug right in there. That is pretty astounding. And that is solid, you can see, solid chalcedony. So all of it will polish really good, and that would be pretty neat. And I put it so it could stand by itself. Look at this guy. But look at how those plumes flow way up in there. That is a really neat specimen. And again, this side is very solid. There's a few, if I look carefully, it could be a few fractures in it, like one right through here, but not bad. It looks very nice. It make a nice specimen anyway. Well, thanks for joining me on this little video. Hope you enjoyed seeing what's inside. Until next time, right, Ruby? Right? Yeah, until next time, may the Lord bless each of you.